Uh, you finished watching Crisis completely?
Yeah, bro, I watched everything.
Yeah, I finished it too, but my biggest thing was the Reverse Flash.
Oh
So
my god, man.
let's
That
start with
was
that.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me how you feel about the Reverse Flash not showing up because the whole time
Man,
I'm like, when is he coming?
bro. First things first. Since season 1, dude, Reverse Flash has been teasing Barry's death since season 1. He has, in a way, technically created all these metahumans, and I mean, you know what I mean, right? Like, he created the Flash's powers, and like throughout flash forwards and flashbacks, he's been saying, "Soon you will die. There will be a reckoning." In season 2, he said, "Very soon you will die." 6 years of setting it up, and we don't even see him in the crossover. Like, what? Like, I don't like Mark Guggenheim's response to it. Like, what did he say? He said that.
Oh,
What did he say?
I got it right here. Let me read that because I got the exact quote. So Mark Guggenheim, one of the TV producers for the Arrowverse, this is what he said. I guess what really comes down to is not being able to be beholden to a headline from 6 years ago. Now let's stop right there first.
Yeah.
That little sentence right there, what he's saying, it's more, but let's try to break this down because just that first sentence right there, I'm like, hold up. You're basically saying that something that somebody else did at the beginning of the show, you're not going to continue with it because it's different writers. So
Right.
So when let's say the Arrow started on season 1 or whatever, so it doesn't matter what happened before. Is that what they're saying? Because they have different writers. They just
Man, if you're thinking about it this way, 6 years of building this huge storyline up, and it doesn't matter if they say the timeline changed. Like 6 years of building the story up, you're just not gonna add the actual character in. Reverse Flash is the most important character, and I don't think anyone realizes this, man. Like, that's just crazy. Disappointing, man.
You go on Twitter, like I was on Twitter right after it, and I just put Reverse Flash, and it was led. People were like, "Where's the Reverse Flash?" And then they put in the newspaper part, and I'm like, "You guys, whoever started the show, like it doesn't matter if there's somebody new. You're supposed to continue the show, no matter what happened."
Yeah.
So that first sentence that he's saying there is like, you're just being lazy, or some political bullshit happened in the background, and you guys just decided not to put him in there because you had everything in this crossover. Like, this crossover was like fan service, and I made a different video about it that I'm uploading later. But it was like a love letter. But the fact that you set up all of this stuff for nothing with the Reverse Flash, because if he was to tell me that was the real reason, maybe I will believe him and still be pissed about it. But just last year, when the Reverse Flash was free from his prison, he said, "See you next crisis."
Oh, man.
So when is that? There's another crisis coming that we don't know about?
Oh, man. Like, Crisis. Like, he's been teasing Crisis, man. And he doesn't even show up in the actual crossover.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
He was in the trailer.
Yeah, he was. That's the problem. There's a lot of things Mark Guggenheim said besides Reverse Flash, but like this is just I can't believe it. I still can't believe it.
I think he's lying. How do you think he's lying? Because if he's saying that from 6 years they don't want to deal with that, then why was it in the trailer? You tell me. Go ahead.
I think it's in the deleted scenes. I feel like there's just more. I don't think they just want to end off like that. I think there'll be more. I really hope there'll be more. Yeah, man. I mean, it's horrible, bro.
Yeah. Let me continue saying what he said.
Yeah.
So after he said that they couldn't deal with it from 6 years ago, that it was not written by any of the showrunners involved in the crossover. A lot of things drive our stories, and a lot of things determine what choices we make. To me, tracking toward a headline that was written 6 years ago, literally, the definition of the car driving the horse, we've had the Reverse Flash so prominent in the Arrowverse over the years, including last year's crossover and the crossover before that. I love the character. I love Tom Cavanagh as a person, and I certainly love Matt Lesher's version. But you have to make choices.
Make choices to not add Reverse Flash? What? Man.
We're not alone in this. I'm pretty sure there's like I even went to one of the YouTubers that has like millions of subscribers.
Yeah.
And even him was like, he was upset.
Same.
Like, I don't know if you watch Emergency Awesome.
No, yeah, I watch him. He's cool, yeah.
Yeah, he's like one of the guys that's been around for like 10 years now. And even he was like, what type of excuse is this from Matt Guggenheim?
Oh, man. Oh, my God, dude. You don't know how much I got pissed off reading this. Okay, we've had Reverse Flash so prominent in the Arrowverse over the years, including in last year's crossover and the crossover before that. I love Tom and Matt, but you have to make choices. Bro, you don't understand. And I was like thinking about this. You know how in the Legends of Tomorrow episode they had Bebo, a giant Bebo. Bro, that was, in my opinion, it was not necessary for that to happen. I feel like, imagine how sick this would be from a different time, the Legion of Doom, including, it doesn't have to be Matt Lesher, it could be Tom Cavanagh. And then Merlin returns, and I forgot the other guy's name. Like, they could have returned. Imagine how much of a sick episode that would have been. Instead, they had to add Bebo. Bebo in Crisis. That's just, man. What do you think?
I was feeling the same way. Like,
yeah,
when I knew something stupid was gonna happen because it's Legends of Tomorrow, and I get that the show is supposed to be silly, but we're in the middle of a crossover, and I'm thinking that something is going on. Okay, the Reverse Flash is gonna show. No, Bebo shows up, and then the reason why Bebo shows up is not even Bebo to begin with. It's some guy that we don't even really know about, and I'm like, okay, what are you guys doing? Like, you didn't have the money to spend on the Reverse Flash. I feel like some of his comments, they're like, it was something that we made last minute. Like, we meant to put him there, but some BS happened and we decided not to put him. But you decided to put Bebo? Like, I was thinking about this with my other friend, and he was laughing because he knew. I was like, what is Bebo doing here? And the whole time I'm watching that hour, I'm like, well, in the next 5 minutes, I guess it's going to be like a cliffhanger with the Flash and the Reverse Flash or something.
Yeah.
No. And my favorite version of the Reverse Flash is Tom Cavanagh, the first one that we saw.
Now, honestly, I'm going to have to agree with you on that. Like, I love Matt Lesher. Like his Reverse Flash is awesome, all right? He looks just like Reverse Flash in the comics. But the way Tom Cavanagh brings that, he just has that feeling. He has that, like, evil vibe. Like, you know what I mean, man? Like,
I know.
Like, it's crazy. He's such a talented actor. And I want to bring something else up. Didn't Mark Guggenheim say there were going to be 3 Supermans in one scene once? Did you, like, hear about that?
One of my other friends that I make videos with, he told me about that, and I'm thinking, oh, great. And then I watched the last 2 hours. Nothing.
Where the hell? What? Like, bro, there was not even like 2 Supermen in one scene in the last 2 hours. Bro, I didn't even see Superman like barely in the last 2 hours.
Yeah,
oh man,
not like they kind of like jobbed out Superman in this crossover. That's what it feels like he was there, but not being used. I wonder if the Reverse Flash had to suffer because we got Ezra Miller with our version, the CW version of the Reverse of the Flash.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's why they cut it, because it was something last minute.
I heard that rumor, and honestly, I don't think Reverse Flash and the Flash would have that much of a short scene, in my opinion. I think it was cut, instead of Bebo, That's just me. I think it's that. I think that's the reason, because I don't think like they would have cut it for Ezra. That's just gonna be a way, like, that's just really short.
They have one job, and even if it would have been for 5 minutes, like the Reverse Flash working with the Anti-Monitor for whatever reason, it's like, you know what, I'm back, and Barry, I'm gonna take you, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna kill your mother now or something. I don't know, but they didn't pay off anything from that newspaper, and now it's like, why is that newspaper still there?
You know, even like Barry's like mom's death, like I really like. I'm not. I know I'm the only. I'm not. I know I'm not the only one, and I know you're not the only one either. Like, I really want to see Reverse Flash and Flash going back in time again to that night, because bro, like that was the best part. I really want to like know what the original timeline was like, and I feel like there's like tons of unanswered questions the Flash in general the series has, and throughout like the next few seasons they could answer, I hope, possibly answer those questions. If they don't, I'm not gonna be happy. I don't know about you, but that's just me.
No, I'm with you right there, because since the beginning of Flash, I'm like, are they ever gonna go back to like, I know that the first timeline is that one that, you know, the Reverse Flash and the Flash, they go and kill his mother, right? And I'm assuming that it's in some sort of a loop, or in how it's going to be played out in this timeline. And I was hoping that the Reverse Flash that was gonna show up, it would be a new one that will be like, oh, I know where you're from, Barry. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna fight you, and I'm gonna try to kill you, but that's not gonna work. So let me go back in time now and go and kill your mother. And it will be like a separate one. Like they will be the first ones to go back to that house and do that. Something along those, I don't know.
Yeah.
And somehow I know that Flash disappeared 25 years ago, and kind of like close that out and say, you know, did he really die? Because you remember hour 4 on Crisis, he said, oh, I was gone for like 2 seconds. And they're like, no, you were gone for a month. So imagine him gone for 25 years. How much is that to him? A couple of hours? So many questions.
Probably, yeah. There's a lot of questions. But, like, it's really trippy. This is what the Arrowverse does now. But like, I'm like still mad that, bro, from the first episode, Flash will die. Well, it's not even just about Barry dying. They already wrapped that arc up, and I respect that so much. But the Reverse Flash, that's what they're missing. That's the salt it's missing. That was a mistake to not add him. I'm just gonna say that. And honestly, Crisis was amazing in general. It really was. And I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying this, but tell me why Crisis on Infinite Earth Hex had a lot more heroes, and they were struggling to defeat the Nazis, but against the Anti-Monitor, they killed him easy breezy. Like, I actually don't get that. Like, you noticed that, or?
Yes, a good point. That's a good point. I remember that crossover is like my number 2. Last year was my number 1, but that one is my number 2. And I gotta be with you right there.
You like, bro, like, it does not make sense, bro. Like the Nazis capture them and blah blah blah, and like it takes like 30 people to like struggle against Nazis, but then you have like 10 heroes like beat the like shit out of like the like Anti-Monitor. Like, man, I don't get it. Like, but honestly, like, they're all the Paragons. They have evolved. They have got stronger through the years. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like billions of infinite possibilities with them. Like, there's like no other way except Mr. Oliver Queen dying. But then you have like 10 heroes against like the most like mortal being ever. So I even know.
Yeah, I mean that fight at the end, him growing and fighting Superman and Martian Manhunter, that was cool.
Yeah.
Now there was a few people that shouldn't have been fighting there, like shooting bullets at the Anti-Monitor. That's not gonna work.
Yeah. Oh man, like the shadow demons, like those demons. And in the comics, I believe Reverse Flash leads those. They decided for the Anti-Monitor to do that. I think they both do. I'm not too sure though. I'm not like a comic fan, or I'm not like that much into comics. But what I know is that the Reverse Flash leads to shadow demons. It even said in the newspaper article. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, man, like the 6 years of setting this. It was beautiful. Like the way they teased it. It was like it gave me goosebumps. Like, and it was such a good way on how they teased it. Like such a beautiful way, and it could have led to a huge intense battle between the Flash and Reverse Flash, and it could be like other like heroes too. But they just decided, like let's just not have like the Reverse Flash come in, and let's do this. Let's go this direction. It was interesting on what direction they went, but I felt like Reverse Flash could have been the right direction.
I'm wondering if maybe they wanted to put him here, but then they probably were setting up next year's crossover, and they thought that they had a better storyline. Maybe next year is gonna be about Barry and the Reverse Flash, the next crossover. We won't know until later, sometime this year, and that's the only way that I'm gonna forgive them for this one.
Yeah, because like I right now I can't forgive them right now, but like the way they like ended this whole Crisis thing up, it was legendary, right? But I just like can't forgive them for not adding Reverse Flash. He's a really important character. He like I said earlier in the beginning of this video, created the metahumans. Like he went back in time, and he was stuck, so he had to create the Flash to get back home, as he said in season 1. And he created all the metahumans, and that's just crazy. Like that, like if you think about it, like he has such an important role than people ever think he has. That's insane. And also, man, I've been thinking Flashpoint season 3. I've been thinking about this for the longest time now. Imagine if Flashpoint, instead of that weird invasion crossover, imagine Flashpoint was a crossover. Imagine that. They could have had an actual evil Oliver Queen, and like they could have had like I don't know. Just imagine like if Flashpoint was a crossover. Imagine that.
That would have been interesting. Instead, he only lasted a couple of episodes, and that's it.
Yeah, it lasted like how long did it last again?
I mean, he ended on season 2, and then he started on season 3, and then by the end of episode 2, that was it. It was over. He came back and he left it like that.
Yeah, season 3 was very intense for me. Season 3 was just a whole like roller coaster. The most like sad, emotional season of The Flash. Oh, and I heard, isn't like post-crisis gonna be the most emotional thing ever for Barry and Iris?
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. I saw the trailer for the next episode, and
it actually looks really good.
Yeah, she doesn't look very happy in some of the scenes.
Oh no.
But yeah, like you and I were staying in the same line as far as this Reverse Flash fiasco. Yeah. But I want to know what people think in the comments. In your page, in my page. Yeah. Let us know.
You comment down below, guys.
And we'll keep making more videos. But I hope that the CW has some plans in the future for the Reverse Flash.
I really do.
That's a very fan favorite villain, especially from Tom Cavanagh.
Yeah.
But let us know in the comments